On this episode of Beyond the Bean on Air, we'll learn about how your checkoff has been growing a new crop of U.S. soybean researchers and how to get your hands on existing research to help you farm better. And we'll introduce a major research initiative aimed at driving U.S. soybean yields to new heights. But first, let's look at a few other ways checkoff dollars have been working hard for you lately. The Soybean Checkoff's Global Opportunities Program created a new vision for its work when it met earlier this summer to set its agenda for 2012. During the two-day event, checkoff farmer leaders agreed to study the economic impact of restrictions on farmed wetlands. They also continued USB's work with the Soy Transportation Coalition and agreed to examine the federal farm policy options for U.S. soybean farmers as discussions on new multi-year government farm programs heat up. With the price of fuel on everyone's minds, the checkoff participated in a promotional campaign that saved motorists 50 cents per gallon on soy biodiesel. The Soybean Checkoff partnered with the Kansas City Regional Clean Cities Coalition and Zarco 66 Earth-Friendly Fuels to hold 3 money-saving events. The National Biodiesel Board reports more biodiesel has been produced already this year than all of last year. So don't forget to ask for and use soy biodiesel this harvest season. Want to help prove the high quality of U.S. soybeans to our major customers? The Soybean Checkoff will soon mail out kits to collect samples, and here's how you can help. Contact Seth Nave at the University of Minnesota to receive your kit. It's free, and when you mail in the postage-free sample, you'll get a personal report mailed back to you on the quality of your beans. Samples should be returned by October 20th. As we start to harvest the 2011 crop, it's important to know your Soybean Checkoff invests in bright, young U.S. scientists to help ensure future research continues to focus on increased soybean production.
USB's Research Fellowship helps promising students who want to achieve a doctorate degree with a $25,000 per year research stipend. The program aims to encourage U.S. PhD students to focus on soybean-specific production research.
I think it's a great opportunity. There's definitely it's hard to find funding, I think, to do research, and so this is a great opportunity to be able to pursue your career goals and do it in a way that has the least amount of financial burden, I guess.
USB encourages graduate students focusing on agronomy, phytopathology, weed science, molecular biology, extension service, and other disciplines to apply for future fellowships. These ag production professions can help U.S. soybean farmers improve soybean yields.
And always the objectives of the crop research is to help farmers, grow good crops, have acceptable yields and high yields to feed the growing population or whatever demands they're facing.
USB's Production Research Committee selected these 2 doctoral candidates this year for the USB Fellowship Program. One will study and work at the University of Illinois and focus on breeding soybeans for resistance to soybean sudden death syndrome, or SDS. The other will attend Virginia Tech to study and conduct research to improve U.S. soybean production systems.
Yeah, I just want to say, thank you for your support. Your money, it's not going to waste. I'm really enthusiastic about soybean breeding. I look forward to my future in soybean breeding and, creating, new varieties that, help out the United States soybean farmer.
The Soybean Checkoff Research Fellowship can be renewed for up to 4 years, provided the students make satisfactory progress toward completing their degrees. For Beyond the Bean on Air, I'm Mike Orso.
To further the value of soybean research and to help protect and improve soybean yields, Soybean Checkoff farmer leaders have stepped up efforts to get the results of past and present production research into the hands of U.S. soybean farmers.
State and national soybean checkoff organizations fund numerous research projects each year to protect yields from diseases and pests. Unfortunately, surveys indicate you may not be fully aware of research-based solutions to problems in your fields. The Soybean Checkoff has a new program to get production research results into the hands of all U.S. soybean farmers. The partnerships with state checkoff boards and land-grant university research and extension programs help soybean farmers put research results into action to improve productivity and boost profitability.
Obviously, the more information we get in a timely fashion, then the better off we can manage our crops. It's very important, especially in today's age, as pests move in and out of soybean fields, as fungicide treatments change. If we can get that information from our land-grant universities and extension, not only more timely, but quicker, more efficiently, more effectively, then we can do a better job raising our soybean crop.
More than a dozen states and their land-grant universities have already jumped on board this new technology transfer program. Reporting for Beyond the Bean on Air, I'm Rebecca Stephen.
Can every farmer in the United States, now I said United States, average nearly 60 bushels of soybeans per acre every single year? Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, your Soybean Checkoff has launched an effort to make that a reality sooner than you might think.
Soybean Checkoff farmer leaders recently committed an unprecedented $4.8 million for research to identify and evaluate soybean genes that increase yields. The 3-year project will be conducted by land-grant university and U.S. Department of Agriculture researchers throughout the soybean growing region of the United States. The Checkoff wants to increase the national soybean yield average from 43.6 bushels per acre to 59.5 bushels per acre by 2030. This would not only increase the profit potential of U.S. soybean farmers, but also help meet the growing demand for food, feed, fiber, and fuel around the world.
We've been frustrated in that when we look at yield gains that we have currently, the yield gains are fairly slow. We're increasing yields using the conventional technologies, but we're not able to make the kind of progress that I think the soybean farmers really would like us to. So what we're doing is we're applying the most modern and most current technologies to trying to address some of these problems of how we can get yield gains much more quickly.
Funding significant soybean research isn't new to the Checkoff. In 2009, researchers completed sequencing the soybean genome. Since then, more than 50,000 markers have been identified that are distributed all over the soybean chromosomes, enabling soybean breeders to identify the location of key genes, speeding up the development of new U.S. soybean varieties. Reporting for Beyond the Bean on Air, I'm Laura Schaefer.
That's all for now. Thanks for joining us on Beyond the Bean on Air. Be sure to check back with us as we provide you the latest news and information on your Soybean Checkoff and the U.S. soybean industry. Have a safe and successful harvest season.